Hi, it's Paul from Hench Herbivore with my 1 month psilocybin mushroom microdosing experiment.
Hi, it's Hench from Hench Herbivore, and here's how I took illegal drugs for a month, and I'm going to tell you how I'm more enlightened.
Before I begin, just a quick disclaimer. Now, although psychedelics, when applied sensibly, are nothing like as dangerous as some governments have previously reported.
Oh, those psychedelics. Oh, I'm not promoting psychedelics, but I'm totally promoting them. We got Hench Herbivore, Terrence McKenna Jr. here, Psychonaut, Hench Herbivore, gleaming the cube, slipping between the slipstream like Van Morrison, creeping on the trans-dimensional self-transforming machine elves, bringing us the gleaming cube like Christian Slater and showing us how to be enlightened, how to be truly enlightened. I can't wait. I can't freaking wait. Hench Herbivore, he's enlightened. He's found a new filter. It makes his skin look amazing. It makes him look super spiritual. His shirt says ethics. His face says retard. Let's go.
Governments have previously reported, and indeed they are being studied in prestigious institutions such as Imperial College London and Johns Hopkins University in America for their mental health benefits. They're not without their potential dangers. Indeed, they are highly illegal also in many countries. For these reasons, know that this video is not me recommending them, and if you are...
just know that this is not me recommending them, this is just me recommending them. Okay.
Tempted to do them for yourself, please do lots of research so that you don't put yourself at unnecessary risk.
Yeah, if you're going to do them yourself, please make sure to watch at least 45 minutes of vegan YouTubers telling you about their experiences with mushrooms, and then you can do them safely. This is Hench Herbivore telling you to trip the fuck out.
Microdosing is taking a
Microdosing. All right, we're gonna definitely we might have to pull some super chats notifications from this stream. I like this one.
Microdosing is taking a psychedelic compound at 1/10 to 1/20th of the hallucinogenic dose. At this level, is quite imperceivable.
Quite imperceivable, but at this level, it also makes you slightly more suggestible. Because what these things do is they make you very suggestible.
People report improved creativity, emotional well-being, and day-to-day functionality. I also learned that the use of psychedelics can cure debilitating cluster headaches and migraines. Indeed, I watched one video where a cluster headache...
I watched a video.
...said were it not for psychedelic mushrooms, because of the intolerable pain, he was ready to take his own life. If you've watched my channel for a while...
Oh, so you're gonna save your life if you take mushrooms. Now, look, I'm not saying that there's nobody that can get benefits from some of these things. Right, these are things that God has created. But the way that these people use these things, the way that these people want to contact entities in these experiences and stuff like that, this is nonsense. They've institutionalized misuse of a lot of these compounds that are basically like low-level poisoning yourself long-term. All right, so look, it's cool. People are getting relief from cluster headaches and stuff like that. All right, but this whole neo-pagan shamanism thing that these people are bringing about, oh yeah, you got the cluster headaches, you're going to cure them. It's like, you're not trying to cure cluster headaches, dude. You're not trying to cure cluster headaches. You're trying to cure your insatiable desire for God, for truth, for reality. Right? But you want to do it from your own little secular place where you don't have to realize the majesty, the glory, and the power of the sovereign God that created all of this. You want to worship the creation. You want to be God yourself. Right? So there's not like millions of people out there with cluster headaches. They're just going to take a little bit of mushrooms on a microdose and they're going to get better. Right? No, you're talking about messing with your brain chemistry subtly every single day to make you feel a little bit better about the stupid, dumb shit that you're doing every day so that you think that it's more spiritual. That's what you're doing, Hench Herbivore. You're fucking wasting your time. Right? That's what you're doing. You're convincing yourself that what you're doing is good. Oh, I'm good. I just want what's best for the animals, and I want people to take drugs so they can also think like me. You're goofy as fuck. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No, you don't really know what you're playing with, dude. That's the problem. You don't need the whispers of demons from the DMT realm to come and enlighten you. We need humility. And we need repentance. And we need to seek God.
Guys, if you want to be the big man, the big daddy...
I've never heard of cluster headaches, says Deputy Dave. Cluster headaches are rare anyways. It's okay. Don't trip with demons. I found one report of somebody who cured their cluster headaches. Therefore, all my audience should probably take drugs all the time. Come on, dude.
But this video where I reported that historically I've been suffering with migraines.
Oh no, I'm suffering with migraines. What do you mean? Migraines? You have migraines? You got migraines? Is that like a vegan side effect or what is that? Oh, you have cluster headaches. You got to take mushrooms every day? Just a little bit? Just a little bit every day?
My channel for a while, you may remember this video where I reported that historically I've been suffering with migraines
in Hawaii, right? And you just imagine them shirtless all day,
Right.
Uh-oh.
Migraines. It would come, I would have them for like days at a time, really debilitating. The main thing being the aura, like the visual disturbances. Could be a daily thing, and I'd feel like I just couldn't get on with my life. It would just stop me in my tracks. A little while back, I realised that caffeine was causing them. I ceased the caffeine, and they stopped altogether. More recently, to my horror, they started. I'm not having any difficulty. Again, I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you.
Hench Herbivore, I thought you weren't having any difficulty. Now all of a sudden you're dealing with cluster headaches that are just so bad. You got these headaches and migraines. They're so bad. You got to take mushrooms every day for them. I thought you weren't having any difficulties.
Things are not very well understood. I went to the doctors. They went a lot of help. They put me on tons of pharmaceuticals.
I went to the doctors. They told me you got to change your filter on YouTube. Increase the saturation so it makes you look like you've got skin tone, okay? It'll take the green away from the edges, except it'll still remain a little bit. The doctors told me you got to use a filter, Instagram filter.
I was taking a triptan and also amitriptyline. These are very strong drugs. It could have been horrible side effects potentially, like over time. And I was on the maximum dose, and it wasn't even helping. Previously, online, I found a list of the toxicity levels of pharmacological substances. So various drugs, both illegal.
Wait, was this based on their vibration? Was this based on their vibration? Hence, what is the energy signature of mushrooms? Is it like a or like a like what frequency? What are we talking about? Like 420 hertz? 69 hertz? What are we talking about here, dude?
And pharmaceutical. And, all the pharmaceutical drugs, they were starting towards the top of the list. Most toxic coming down. At the bottom of the list was mushrooms. They're the least toxic of everything. I'm very happy to report I don't need any of them pharmaceuticals anymore because the microdosing.
I thought your vegan diet had you so healthy, dude. I thought you were just thriving on your vegan. I'm not having any problems. I'm better than you. I'm stronger than you. I thought you were good. But you need mushrooms. All of a sudden, you got all these issues. You needed pharmaceutical drugs. But no, the mushrooms, they cured me. Well, you didn't. Did you talk about these problems before? Weird.
Cured it. I don't get migraines anymore. I couldn't be more happy. As for other benefits, particularly early
I couldn't be more fake happy.
on, I had, when I first started taking them, I had quite a warm, fuzzy feeling a lot of the time. Definite improved mood. I was a lot more smiley. Gemma, my partner, noticed it. I hadn't even told her yet that I was doing the microdosing, but it was very pronounced. It's made me
He lives with this chick and didn't even tell her he's taking these drugs every day.
enjoy social interactions a little bit more. Certainly, I've noticed how much more grateful I am for my friends, like there's certain ways that they are perhaps something kind they've done or whatever, and I've been a lot more quick to thank them for it, you know.
Oh, I say thank you faster. Wow, he leveled up, guys. He says thank you so quickly. He's so polite now. Dang, Hench. Look at that beautiful green glow it gives you, too. I love it.
To tell them how much I appreciate them. And with other interactions with people perhaps that I don't enjoy talking to so much, they've been a little bit more bearable. Hoping to get benefits to my productivity, as touted by people who work in...
Yeah, you're still producing tons of shitty ass videos all the time. Good job. You're more productive with your shitty ass pointless videos. And you found a new filter to make you look a little bit less green and to take away the 20 folds on your raisin ass forehead. Good job, Hench. Cool.
Silicon Valley, you know, they work really, really hard coders and such, and supposedly, you know, they work that bit harder and it all flows that little bit more. I didn't notice any of that, and I think the reason being that for the longest time I have been so work focused. I can work from the minute I get up to the minute I go to bed potentially. Sometimes.
Yeah, so from the minute he gets up, from the minute he goes to bed, that's how long it takes him to make these high production value videos. He works so hard for you. It took him 8 hours to find this filter.
I've kind of noticed that the social side of things, like my life wasn't balanced, and because...
Oh, was it balanced? Oh, balanced. How did you balance it?
I've been enjoying the social thing, and the mushrooms like this made me seek that out. So I've wanted more quality time with my partner Gemma, certainly been more affectionate. And previously,
My partner, what are you doing? Doubles tennis? You and Gemma? Are you and Gemma tennis partners? You guys play doubles?
Just didn't make any plans. I made no dates to see friends. Lately, I've been doing that, and I've been enjoying it immensely. Despite perhaps not increasing my productivity, the fact that I've had time away from content creation has kind of renewed my excitement for making it. So I think perhaps in a way, like I may still get benefits in the area of business. I've certainly been feeling a bit more creative and inspired, and for a content creator, you know, that's key. So I've been really enjoying that aspect. I'm quite an introspective...
Your content is so creative. It's so inspiring. I mean, it's like this cutting edge creativity that you are given by the mushrooms. The mushrooms are clearly inspiring Hench Herbivore. This is Terrence McKenna, the king of the mushrooms. Hench Herbivore is clearly tapping into the astral realm as described by great sages and creepers and pedos like Van Morrison. If you will take the mushrooms, the mushroom will tell you exactly how to be so creative, like Hench Herbivore here, who is the most creative and also is bigger and stronger than you.
Active person, and the mushrooms, I believe, have made me even more so. And as well, I find it even easier to see the perspective of others. So to illustrate that, one day I was at the sink doing the washing up, you know, and I just went internally, was just thinking about stuff, and it popped into my head about mask wearing and how some people like are really complaining about it, you know, like crazy. And I think, like, you know, for me, mask wearing is, if I happen to go to the supermarket like maybe once a week, I have to put a mask on for like 5 minutes. And I was thinking, like, people really don't know when they're well off. And I remembered back as a lad.
I'm not saying anything.
My mum telling me about how it was for her during World War II when she was a little girl. And so, you know, there was
She was a little girl, and everybody wasn't as dumb and decadent as you, and they weren't able to be brainwashed into believing that wearing a mask is going to protect them from anything. The only thing your mask is doing is destroying your ability to intake oxygen. The only thing your mask is doing is making you look like a fucking child with a diaper on his face, Hench Herbivore. But look, the mushrooms helped him to accept this. This is so spiritual. The mushrooms helped him to accept how it's so good to wear your mask everywhere. Whoa, bro. Whoa. Just like the mushrooms help the human sacrifice victims to accept their death. Remember, that's how the Aztecs used these. The Aztecs were using these on their human sacrifice victims, and also the royals were eating these, consuming massive amounts of these mushrooms, sacrificing and eating the flesh of human beings, including babies. So this is what mushrooms can do for you. They can make you accept the most abject and horrific circumstances and think that this is just natural and beautiful. Why you think they're pushing them so hard? Who was it that funded MAPS? Who was the biggest donor to MAPS? I'll give you guys a second. Who was the biggest donor? Well, you may be pleasantly surprised. It was, I think it was Nelson Rockefeller. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Clay and Rebecca Rockefeller, the son and daughter of Richard Rockefeller, raised the remaining $500,000 needed for MAPS Phase 3 MDMA PTSD studies in the U.S. So the Rockefellers are funding the studies on psilocybin in the U.S. They're funding MAPS. Who was it that brought, via Marina Sabina, the mushroom to the United States? And look, this is not just some random person here talking about this. I was steeped in this culture. I grew up in this culture. Guess who brought the mushroom to the United States? Time magazine. With a banker, Wasson, a banker from Chase Manhattan, a Rockefeller banker from Chase Manhattan, went and discovered the mushroom with Maria Sabina, in Mexico, and brought that back to the United States. And then Time magazine published and pushed this out to the masses and said, this is the flesh of the gods. It's the gods. It's going to put you in touch with the gods. What was that, like Christopher Walken? Bad Christopher Walken there. That's where it came from. Time magazine. Henry Luce. Skull and Bones, Henry Luce. Time magazine, Maria Sabina. Gordon Wasson, a banker from Chase Manhattan. That's who brought the mushrooms to you. That's who started the so-called revolution, the psychedelic revolution.
They didn't have as much food as they wanted. The clothes were getting tatty, make do and mend and all that. They didn't have all the resources. And the bombing, the Blitz, bombs dropping all around. Imagine a poor little girl, running for her life, air raid siren going off, diving in the bunker, underground. If you get a direct hit, you're dead. When you come out of there, you don't know if your house is going to be standing. You don't know if your friends have all been killed. For the first time, I'd heard that story 40 odd years ago. For the first time, I kind of felt what would it have been like from her perspective. It made me quite tearful, and
40 years ago.
It's just as though this microdosing really makes life more colourful, and you kind of...
So some random rant about World War II and bombings, and then colours and stuff. It's I really like the pretty colours.
Experience more, and even if it's through the eyes of others. So I found that quite an interesting...
Depersonalization, another thing, right? Depersonalization through the eyes of others. Seeing through the eyes of others, meaning projecting your false interpretations of what you think other people see and believing your false interpretations. Just delusion, prelest. That's what this is. It's spiritual delusion. You think you're right. You think every random thought that pops into your head when you're high as fuck on these things, you think every random thought that pops up in your head is the ultimate cosmic truth that is cracking the egg of the shell of the cosmic egg to break out into the universe and spread the truth everywhere. But really, you're high and you're being manipulated by your own pride and you're delusional. And nothing you've said here is interesting. Nothing you've said here is new. This is all just cliche bullshit, Hench. But I get it. This is your spiritual journey. All right. I mean, this is what we get. This is what you get as spirituality. This is what you get. This is your new spirituality. This is your new spiritual guru. When you reject God, when you reject the truth. This is what you get when you believe that morality is subjective and we all just get to make it up. Right? Hench believes that morality is subjective, yet he gets to push his subjective version of morality on everybody else. And guess what? It's right, because he took some mushrooms and the mushrooms made him feel like it was right. So he knows.
Yes. I'm learning a new skill currently also, interviewing. For this reason, I've stacked the psilocybin mushrooms with lion's mane mushrooms.
He's got his stack. He's learning interviewing. Oh, I'm learning how to ask a few pre-written questions to the vegan doctors.
Your interview skills, dude. Interview skills. And the mushrooms are gonna help you figure that out. Hey, Hench, how about you just learn how to do an interview? How about you just learn how to talk to people and not be so insecure? How about you learn to just be yourself? How about you learn what you actually are? No, I'm gonna take some mushrooms. I'm gonna go watch these fake spiritual channels on YouTube. I'm gonna go repeat and regurgitate some of the things that they say, some of these stereotype tropes that they throw out there, and then I'm spiritual. That's how you be spiritual.
I understand that the psilocybin creates new neural pathways and
Whoa, new neural pathways. Buy my CBD. Buy my $200.
How much does your CBD cost? Like 200 pounds a bottle. For your CBD, you're like 10 milligrams of CBD. Honesthemp.co.uk. How many of these scam CBD products are out there now? Oh, look, it goes right to his one. But if you click on our links, it's going to say, are you sure you want to go to this website? Are you?
Does it?
I think so, doesn't it? Let's see. Let's see what it does when I click on my link. It goes right to his website. Let's see what it does. When I click on, I don't know, a lot of the streams that I...
Do Primal Edge Health.
Go to it. Here it goes to it. All right. Sometimes on some of the channels that I watch, I click on the link and it's like, are you sure? Like Twitter throws up a thing where it's like, this might be insecure. This site might be really insecure. You're not insecure, are you? If you're insecure, you can click on the little proceed to this site now on the bottom here, and then you can go to zerohedge.com. If you click on the little tiny thing that says, I'm an insecure, science denier, truthphobe, then you can continue to this website. But if you don't, then you just go right back to Twitter. We get that a lot. I get that a lot especially on Twitter. I guess I just assume YouTube would do the same.
And then the lion's mane myelinates these, that is, like cements them in.
Myelinates them. Hey, Hench Herbivore. Guess what your myelin sheaths are made of, mate? Cholesterol. Oh, that stuff that you always demonizing, mate. Oh, the stuff that when you take anabolic steroids, they seem to increase your testosterone levels while also increasing your cholesterol levels, because cholesterol is the backbone of testosterone.
Hench Herbivore, when you take, if hypothetically, in an alternate reality, if you were to take testosterone replacement therapy, because in the past you said that you took, what was it, 100 or 10 times, or I don't know, was it 50, 10, 100, 10 times the recommended dosage of testosterone or 10 times the physiological level of testosterone. So when you do that, and then you have to take testosterone replacement therapy long term, when you have to take that long term, guess what happens very often? Cholesterol is used to make testosterone. Isn't that funny? So a lot of people, they go on TRT and their testosterone might go up. They go on steroids, their testosterone levels go up. That's because that's what testosterone is made out of. You make testosterone from cholesterol. Okay, so just funny fact here for the vegans. You require cholesterol to be fertile. But I get, don't worry. Jimmy Savile and his friends, the royal family, Prince Charles, they'll remind you that being sterile is a virtue, right? Not having children is good. Being sterile, just being a consumer of pop culture, a regurgitator of slogans, that's a virtue. That's good. That's cool. Being fertile, having children, that's bad.
Feel as though I'm making great progress. If you want to see for yourself, go over to my Instagram account, Hench_Herbivore, and it's my IGTV back catalogue of videos. There's a few interviews on there. Let me know what you think. And now for the negatives. I'm very happy to report there wasn't much in the way of negatives. The one thing I would say is that some of the benefits, I think more the emotional ones, were much more pronounced in weeks 1 and 2. Weeks 3 and 4, feel like I'm not really noticing much.
Man, you better up your dose, man. You better find a stronger drug to take all the time. Maybe you should dose LSD every day, they'll tell you. Or maybe you should stop chasing your spiritual development through drugs. Maybe you should realize that the drugs are not going to get you there. Eventually you're going to realize that. Eventually you will. Eventually you'll realize that no matter what drugs you're taking, no matter what filter you're putting on your videos for the animals, right? Filters, fake filters to give you a fake vision of what this dude looks like for the animals. No matter what you do, you know deep down inside that you're full of shit when you do all this stuff. And then maybe you'll seek the truth. I don't know. Or maybe you'll just keep upping the dose or find a different one. You go microdose LSD, you go microdose this and microdose that. Whatever research chemicals you're going to put in your body to fry your brain more and more in search of peace that only comes from one thing, God. I don't know. Maybe that's what you should do. We'll see. We got like a minute left. We're almost done here.
I have a feeling that I may have oversaturated the receptors. The reason I say this is because I've been quite greedy with it. Instead of doing the standard Fadiman method, which is 1 day on, 2 days off, I went for the Stamets method, which is 4 days on, 3 days off. So you're getting much more days where you're taking the compound. And previously, the Stamets method was actually 5 days on, 2 days off. So then when someone cuts down the amount of days that you're taking a compound and increases the time off, normally that's because the receptors get saturated, and obviously he's realised that. And I think that perhaps that's maybe still too much, or at least for me. So were I to do this again, I would definitely do the Fadiman approach and see if that took care of that little problem.
Right, so Fadiman, he's a psychologist. He's a guy that's kind of big in the whole psychedelic scene. James Fadiman, he's a psychologist, and he was actually involved in some of the early research. I think he was even involved in some of the MK Ultra experiments, or around that time, involved in research on LSD. And he's a big advocate of LSD, Fadiman, and then you've got Paul Stamets. Paul Stamets, who does do a lot of good work on non-psychedelic mushrooms as well. Paul Stamets has a really good book that's not psychedelic related. His work on
Was it mycelium?
fungus, mycelium running. That is a very good book. Very interesting for anybody involved in the production of food, permaculture, interested in regenerating soil, stuff like that. Stamets has done good work, but unfortunately, I think a lot of these psychonauts tend to contaminate it and muddy the waters there. So I don't know. We got muddy waters, water muddier. Hench Herbivore here telling us all about his enlightenment. So thank you so much, Hench. We'll listen to the last 10 seconds. Let's hear you plug whatever it is you're going to plug here at the end. While you're wearing a shirt made by ex-vegan Tim Sheaf, a friend of the show here, maybe we'll have, you guys want to see Tim Sheaf on here? We should check in on Tim. Tim's pretty good. We should check in on Tim soon. Tim Sheaf designed the shirt and ran the company that this dude is repping now, his new sponsor. Tim Sheaf, no longer vegan, Hench Herbivore, riding the coattails of dudes like Tim Sheaf, lapping up the breadcrumbs that Tim Sheaf left behind. Let's hear how he closes.
Do you have experience of microdosing? If so, please comment below. Let me know how you done. And now click this.
Oh, watch my other video. My first psilocybin and mushroom trip. With me flexing. I dropped my ego got so small, but my muscles got so swole, mate.
Hench Herbivore, thank you so much.